At Mom's charity gala they made me serve drinks. Then my foundation's logo appeared. The waitress outfit suits you, my sister laughed. The giant screen lit up. Welcome our keynote speaker, billionaire philanthropist and Mom's champagne glass shattered. Part 1. The dismissal and setup. The Grand Ballroom of the Fairmont Hotel sparkled with crystal chandeliers and old money. 300 of the city's elite mingled around tables draped in ivory silk, their jewelry catching the light like stars. My mother, Elizabeth Sterling, stood at the center of it all in her signature red Valentino gown, commanding attention as she had for 20 years of hosting the Sterling Foundation's annual charity gala. I adjusted the scratchy polyester bow tie of the catering uniform she'd insisted I wear. It's about teaching humility, Amanda, she'd said earlier, her perfect smile never wavering. You need to learn the value of service. My sister Sophia glided past in her custom Dior, deliberately bumping my serving tray. Careful with those drinks, sis. We wouldn't want any accidents. She smirked, her diamond earrings catching the light. Those serving drinks might be a good career move for you. That tech startup of yours isn't exactly paying the bills, is it? I steadied the champagne flutes, keeping my expression neutral. My phone buzzed in my pocket. Probably another update about tomorrow's announcement. My work is doing fine, Sophia. Fine. She laughed, drawing the attention of nearby guests. Is that why you're still living in that tiny apartment instead of a proper house? Why you take the bus instead of having a driver? Face it, Amanda, you're embarrassing the family name. Mom appeared beside us, her smile tight. Sophia, darling, the governor's wife wants to discuss your foundation work. She turned to me, voice dropping. Amanda, the servers are waiting for more champagne. Do try to keep up. I headed toward the service area, their whispers following me. Can't believe she's your sister. Such a disappointment. All that education wasted. My phone buzzed again. A message from my executive assistant. Final details confirmed. Tomorrow's announcement will exceed all projections. Forbes interview scheduled. I smiled, checking my watch. A simple Timex instead of the limited edition Patek Philippe hidden in my apartment safe. In less than an hour, everything would change. Amanda. My mother's voice cracked through the air. Stop checking your phone and get back to work. This event matters. I grabbed another tray of champagne, observing the room. Dad stood with his hospital board members, probably bragging about Sophia's recent donation to the children's wing. The donation that was pocket change compared to what my foundation would announce tomorrow. Did you hear? One of the board members' wives whispered as I passed. The mysterious CEO of Quantum Industries is speaking tonight. They say she's revolutionizing global healthcare access. Dad scoffed. Probably another trust fund kid playing entrepreneur. Now my Sophia, she understands real charitable impact. I served drinks, watching the minutes tick by. Each dismissive comment, each condescending smile, each reminder of my failure, only made the approaching revelation sweeter. My phone buzzed one final time. Stage is set. Presentation loaded. Your introduction begins in 5 minutes. Mom clinked her glass, gathering everyone's attention. Welcome to the Sterling Foundation's 20th annual gala. Tonight we're honored to host a very special guest. Though I must admit, she laughed elegantly, even I don't know who our mysterious speaker is. Sophia sidled up to me. Don't spill anything during the presentation, sis. These guests are actually important. The lights dimmed. The giant screen behind the stage illuminated with a familiar logo. One I'd designed myself 5 years ago when I started working in our family's garage. Ladies and gentlemen, the announcer's voice filled the ballroom. Please welcome our keynote speaker, the founder and CEO of Quantum Industries, recently named one of Time's most influential people. I handed my serving tray to a wide-eyed Sophia, removed the clip-on bow tie and walked toward the stage. Mom's champagne glass slipped from her fingers, shattering against the marble floor. The silence in the ballroom was absolute, broken only by the gentle splash of the champagne pooling around my mother's designer heels. I ascended the stage steps, each click of my sensible flats echoing against the marble. Behind me, the Quantum Industries logo pulsed with a soft blue light. Good evening, I spoke into the microphone, my voice carrying the same authority I used in board meetings. I'm Amanda Sterling, founder and CEO of Quantum Industries. The projector switched to our company statistics. Dad's face went ash white as the numbers appeared. Market cap, $4.2 billion. Global healthcare access, 47 countries. Annual revenue, $890 million. But you work in a garage, Sophia stammered from the front row. Your little computer project. I smiled, clicking to the next slide. That garage project developed the world's first AI-powered diagnostic system. We've provided medical access to over 12 million people in underserved communities. The screen showed hospitals in remote villages, children receiving care, lives being saved. While some focus on galas and photo opportunities, we've been quietly revolutionizing global healthcare. My mother tried to recover her social mask cracking. Amanda, darling, why didn't you tell us? I tried, Mom. For 5 years I tried. Remember last Christmas? When I wanted to discuss my healthcare initiative. The memory played clearly across her face. Her dismissive wave, her attention turning to Sophia's charity fashion show. Mrs. Sterling, my executive assistant Julia strode in, tablet in hand. The World Health Organization is on the line. They're ready to announce the partnership. Dad stepped forward, hospital administrator mode engaging. Partnership? What partnership? The next slide answered his question. Breaking news. Who partners with Quantum Industries' $3.7 billion initiative to revolutionize global healthcare access? That's right, I continued. While you were mocking my computer hobby, I was building the future of medical care. The system you called a waste of time is now being adopted by every major hospital group. I paused, letting it sink in. Including yours, Dad. The board members who'd been laughing earlier now stared at their phones, frantically Googling my name. Headlines flashed across their screens. Tech's quietest billionaire, healthcare's new queen, how Amanda Sterling changed medicine. The contracts are ready, Julia announced. The WHO's Secretary General is waiting for your signature. Sophia grabbed Mom's arm. But our foundation, our charity work, will be integrated into Quantum's global initiative, I finished. That is, if you're interested in doing actual work instead of just hosting parties. The projector switched to live feeds. Hospitals in Africa using our diagnostic tools, clinics in Asia running our systems, medical schools teaching our technology. 5 years of work hidden behind their assumptions of failure. Now, I straightened my simple blazer. Shall we discuss the future of healthcare? Or would you prefer I serve more champagne? The ballroom erupted in applause. Business cards appeared from everywhere, hands reached out to shake mine, voices called for partnerships and interviews. Through it all I watched my family. Mom had sunk into a chair, her perfect posture crumbled. Dad kept opening and closing his mouth, no words emerging. And Sophia just stared at the serving tray she was still holding, her world turned upside down. The night was far from over. We still had the WHO announcement, the partnership details, and most importantly, the new terms of our family's relationship to discuss. The after-party atmosphere crackled with shifting power dynamics. The same socialites who'd ignored me hours ago now clustered around my table, business cards and partnership proposals in hand. I sat calmly, Julia efficiently managing the flow of people while my family huddled in their own corner, whispering urgently. Miss Sterling, the hospital board chairman approached. We had no idea. Your father never mentioned. He didn't know, I replied, signing another partnership agreement. Though I did try to tell him about my diagnostic system last year. I believe his exact words were, stop playing with computers and get a real medical degree like your sister. My phone buzzed. The WHO's Secretary General confirming tomorrow's press conference. I checked the time on my simple Timex, now understanding why my mother kept glancing at it with horrified recognition. It was a deliberate choice, like the serving uniform, the bus rides they'd mocked, the modest apartment they'd criticized. Finally, Mom gathered her courage and approached my table. Amanda, darling, perhaps we could speak privately? I nodded to Julia, who smoothly cleared the area. My mother sank into the chair across from me, her perfect makeup unable to hide her distress. Why didn't you tell us, she whispered. All these years. I told you every day, Mom. About the diagnostic system, the AI development, the global implementation. You were just too busy planning Sophia's galas to listen. Dad joined us, his hospital administrator confidence gone. Princess, if we'd known, you'd have treated me differently? I kept my voice professional. That's exactly why I didn't push harder. I wanted to succeed on my own terms, not the family name. Sophia hovered nearby, still holding that serving tray like a shield. I gestured for her to sit. The Sterling Foundation will need restructuring, I continued. Your current charitable model is inefficient. 20% actual aid versus 80% administrative costs won't work under the new partnership. Restructuring. Mom's voice quavered. But I've run the foundation for 20 years. And now it's time for real change. Julia, the proposals. My assistant distributed 3 folders. The new operational guidelines, I explained. If you want the foundation to be part of Quantum's global initiative, these terms are non-negotiable. They opened the folders. Dad's eyes widened at the numbers. Sophia's hands trembled. You'll have actual responsibilities, I continued. No more symbolic positions or charity fashion shows. Sophia, you'll need to complete our medical technology training program if you want to remain involved. But my social calendar, he stammered, can be cleared, I finished firmly. This is about saving lives, not social status. And the family estate? Dad asked quietly. We'll make an excellent training center for our medical AI programs. I smiled. Don't worry, I've arranged for comfortable apartments for you all. More suitable for people who'll actually be working for a living. Mom's face crumpled. We were so wrong about you. Yes, you were. I stood straightening my blazer. The real work begins tomorrow. I expect to see you all at the WHO announcement, properly dressed and ready to learn. And if we refuse? Sophia whispered. Then the Sterling Foundation will proceed without the Sterlings. I checked my phone. My helicopter's waiting to take me to New York for the morning shows. Julia will email you the schedules. I suggest you all get some rest. It's going to be a busy year. As I walked toward the exit, I heard Mom call out, Amanda, we're sorry. I turned back one last time. Prove it. Not with words or galas or empty gestures. Prove it by doing the actual work. That's what real success looks like. The roar of helicopter blades cut through the night as I left them standing there, their world forever changed. Tomorrow the real revolution in healthcare would begin, with or without my family's understanding. But somehow, watching them clutch those folders like lifelines, I suspected they'd finally learned their most important lesson. True power isn't in appearances, it's an impact. And I'd spent 5 years creating an impact they couldn't ignore.